Hi everyone, Jasmine here. I hope you guys are doing well. Um, Welcome to the September blogging Q&A. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I'm here and I am ready to talk about blogging with y'all. So, thanks for joining me. I see we already have some comments on the left, but before I get into those, I just want to talk through who I am. Hi, I'm Jasmine. I've been blogging for 13 years now. I have two blogs, one called Miss Millennium Magazine and the other called Blogging Money Life, the YouTube channel that you guys are watching this on. So thanks so much for joining. And I do this blogging Q&A once a month because I like to just talk about blogging and also be able to answer any questions that anyone may have when it comes to their blogging experience. So thanks so much for joining. What I do is I take your questions live. So I'll post them in the chat on the right here. And I will be answering those questions in real time. And what I like to do, because I can answer the questions the whole time, but I like to just bring a little bit more value to these videos, is I come with a topic for the day. So I want to give you guys my topic, and then we can get into answering your questions that you have in the chat. So really quick, something that I thought would be really interesting for us to talk about today, because it's September, but as you all know, next week will be October. I mean, the year is flying by, right? So by the time we get to Q4, I think this is probably one of the most important quarters of the year for a lot of bloggers, just because this is where people are spending a lot of money. Obviously, the number one time of the year where people spend the most money is for Christmas. So you want to make sure you're ready for that and you are being able to monetize your blog for Christmas. But I think something that a lot of people don't know is that the second holiday that people spend the most money on is Halloween. So you want to make sure that you're ready for that too. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I do around this time of year. I actually started in late August, early September, and things I've been working on my blog so that I am ready for Q4. So that's what we're going to talk about today for my blogging topic. So before I get into that, let me start with talking in the chat here. I see we got a message from Lurleen. Hi, Lurleen. How was your vacation? I hope you had a fun time and relaxed. Oh, thanks so much for asking. It was excellent. I went on an Alaskan cruise with Princess Cruises, and it was so great. It was awesome. Alaska's beautiful. And I am definitely going to do a video about it because I have a lot of footage, and I plan on just sharing that experience because it was nice. It was really nice. I've done a cruise before, and out of the one other cruise and this one was definitely my fave. So thanks for asking. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy to report that I made it on Journey. I was accepted almost immediately after our last meeting. Yay! Oh, that's so exciting. So I remember you talking about it, that you hit the number so that you could apply for Mediavine. So I'm so happy for you, Lurleen. That's amazing news. And it's just another step in regards to like just being monetized with your blog. So thanks so much for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that update. So I'm so excited. I've only been focusing on Pinterest, but I may give RankIQ a try again. I still pay for the membership. Is it still working for you? Oh man, great question. Yes. So I'll tell you what I'm doing from a traffic perspective, because I know it's been a little rocky for the last couple of years for like every blogger, but I can report confidently that I am seeing this happen with my organic traffic. And I have to say, it's not just with Google. I think I am seeing an upward swing with Google, but much slower than I'm seeing with Bing, and then what I'm seeing with Yandex and all the other search platforms, because of some of the things that I'm incorporating to getting more organic traffic. So to your point, your question, RankIQ, is it working? Yes, it is working for me. So I still pay for the membership. I'm still using it to create new content. And even though I have published some new, I still have it in my process where every article that gets published on my site goes through RankIQ, just to make sure that we have good SEO. And I can tell you right now that I have Rank IQ articles that are in my top 10 for my traffic this month that weren't in my top 10 for traffic last month. So I feel like the higher domain authority, the faster your articles can rank with Rank IQ. At least that's what I've seen because I publish content on my smaller blog and with Miss Millennia Magazine using Rank IQ. And I rank so much faster with Miss Millennia than I do with my other blog. And so, yeah, I've been doing that, but I have also taken more of an interest in Pinterest. So I did hire someone who's doing some more just Pinterest tasks for my blog. And I'm starting to see more organic traffic from my social traffic. And my social traffic is mostly Pinterest. So I'm seeing a little upward tick for both. So yes, it's still working for me for Rank IQ, but I am still making sure that I'm covering all my bases because you just never know. You just never know. This whole conversation we're having right now with Google and everybody wanting to scatter away from it and just look at other opportunities. People were just saying this about Pinterest not that long ago, only a few years ago, honestly, where people were saying, "Oh, I don't think it was worth it to invest in Pinterest and use tools for Pinterest anymore. There's so many more resources out there for you to do SEO." And then Google makes this big change. So I think it's definitely smart to make sure you're focusing on multiple things, not just one thing. Good question. I feel like I need diversity in case my Pinterest looks. That's exactly what I was just saying. Yes, exactly. You need both. You need both. And honestly, when people were talking about I'm going to get off Pinterest because it's not working anymore, it's not worth it, I stayed on Pinterest, and I'm so glad that I did because when a lot of my organic traffic from Google dropped, I still had organic traffic from Pinterest. So Pinterest was not my number one traffic source, so I still lost a lot of traffic, but it was my second. So I was still getting traffic on my site because I was on Pinterest. So regardless of what all the naysayers are saying, and people are saying like, "Oh, forget about this platform because it's not working anymore," don't listen to them. Like, don't spend all your time and don't put the majority of your time into that thing that's not working as much anymore. But if you're still getting traffic, like, definitely keep focused on it because you never know. Next week it's going to be TikTok. Next week or YouTube. Who knows? It could be YouTube. Actually, I've heard things about people on YouTube saying they're not getting as much traffic as they used to for videos that they're producing. So, you just never know. I like your approach in regard to like keeping it diverse because you have to. You really have to. Oh yes, I have heard those Alaskan cruises are amazing. I haven't heard one bad thing. That was so funny. I didn't either, and it's funny because I had never considered like Alaska as a place to go. First of all, it's cold, and I just didn't know a whole lot about it. But I'm so glad I went. It's definitely something to do like in your lifetime. I had some great salmon. I had king crab, which was enormous. And I saw some really cute wildlife. I saw a lot of harbor seals and really close up, and they were super cute. And just learning about what people how they live in Alaska. They live a completely different life than the rest of us. I know it's considered the United States, but it's the lifestyle is so different. So yeah, it was just cool to see how another group of people live. So yes, thanks so much for all your help. Oh, no problem, Lurleen. Yep, I remember that about Pinterest, which is why I stopped a few years ago. See. Yep, I remember. I remember it so vivid. It wasn't that long ago, was it? I almost want to say it was like 2020, 2021, where people were saying get off Pinterest because it's not performing as much, and you don't listen to any of that stuff. And it's the same thing. Like, I'm on Facebook. I don't do a whole lot on Facebook, but I remember when people were saying get off Facebook. I get some traffic from Facebook, but I'm never going to just not do anything there. Even if it has to be automated or whatever. Yeah, I would not follow the advice of just getting off of a certain platform unless that platform is actively kicking you off of it. That's another story. But yeah, yep, I agree. Keep it diverse. My main focus right now has been Pinterest and honestly cleaning up my site. So I mentioned this last month where a big focus for me is just fixing the errors. And I've actually hired someone to help me out in that regard because my site is so big that I've had errors for like ever that I just never gone through and fixed it. So that has taken up a good portion of my time. And when I say fix it, I'm fixing like, 404 errors. I have old content from a decade ago that was never created properly in regards to like it having the right SEO information, or maybe it doesn't have images. Or meta descriptions, things that I would never make the mistake of doing now. Like I have old content on my site that just needs updated in that regard. So that's what I've been focused on this whole last month, that and the things I'm going to talk about today. So if I'm going by what my priorities have been, it's been fixing errors on my website, getting Pinterest up to speed. I've still been publishing content using RankIQ, but at this point, I just have so much content that's already written from RankIQ that I just need to format and schedule to be published. That it hasn't been my main priority in regard to like making sure that I'm getting a bunch of content out. But I believe that once I finish fixing things on my site, I am going to focus more on like how much content can I pump out so that I can rank higher. The thing is, what's great about creating content using RankIQ, and I know this because I'm using SEMrush. This is why I say use both of them. You got to use RankIQ and SEMrush because they have different purposes. But something that I do is I create my content using RankIQ, obviously, and they give me a bunch of keywords that work really well. And then I go through SEMrush and I look at my keywords that I'm ranking for. So SEMrush will tell me, here are all the keywords you're ranking for this month, and here's how many keywords you gained. And I can look right at those keywords and see like, okay, that's a RankIQ keyword, that's a RankIQ keyword, that's a RankIQ keyword. And like, it doesn't feel like it's a lot at first because sometimes you only rank, for RankIQ, it'll give you like, I don't know, 15, 20 different keywords to plug into your article, which is what I love about it. But I only rank for like, I don't know, 3 to 4 of those keywords, like where I actually show up on the search. And then sometimes, very rarely, like 10 of those keywords I'll rank for with Google. And it's great. Those are the articles that make it to the top of my top articles for Miss Mill. So it's a numbers game for real. You really just have to keep pumping out that content, and they'll slowly start making their way up to the top of your articles, and all of it counts as new traffic for your site. And the more keywords you can harness, like the more traffic you're going to get, the higher your domain authority. It all slowly builds up. So when they say like the more content you can create, the better, like the faster you can grow, that's how, because you're just grabbing more keywords that are available that other people don't own, or maybe they own and you can take it from them because RankIQ said that you could get it. So yeah, that's how I think about it in regard to like those tools, how I use them, or at least one of the ways I use SEMrush. I use SEMrush for a number of reasons. I'm also using SEMrush right now to fix my site. They're the ones telling me, here are all the problems with your website and here's what you need to fix. And I haven't just been using that. My developer that I'm using, he also uses Ahrefs. So I've been using Ahrefs. He also uses Screaming Frog. I've been using Screaming Frog. I'm using all the tools because they all tell you something different. Which, speaking of, I know I mentioned before in regard to SEO, my SEO is climbing not just with Google, but also with Bing and some of these other search engines. I did not know that there was a webmasters tool for other search engines. I know, I should know that, but I did not know that until this year. So I signed up for them. I know that Bing has one. In case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Google has a webmasters tool. It's free. If you don't already have it, go sign up. Use the same email address you use for Google Analytics. And it's pretty much your way to communicate with Google and say like, all right, Google, why am I not ranking for certain keywords? And they'll tell you, well, you have these problems, you have this problem. Here are the keywords you are currently ranking for. Here's the articles that it's going to. And it's great because Google will tell you exactly what you need to fix on your site so that you can rank with them. Well, there's also one for Bing. And then there's one for Yandex. So I signed up for Yandex and I signed up for Bing. And what's interesting is like I know what my top articles are on my website, but my top articles on Google Search Console is different than what's on my website because Google Search Console is only going by what are the top articles on Google for my website. And the same thing for Microsoft Bing. It'll say, here are the top articles for that people are finding you on Bing for. And obviously there are going to be a couple that are the same across the board, but there are differences. So I'm going through each webmaster's tool and seeing what articles I need to optimize based on what they say my top 10 are. And that's been helping a lot too, because now it helps me rank higher with Bing here, higher with Google here, higher with Yandex there. So just another strategy, not related to the topic that I was going to talk about today, but I just wanted to share that with y'all, that the experience I've been going through lately with trying to update my site and just trying to boost my SEO has been working. And it's because I am diversifying, not just with like outside of search engine, but also outside of Google. There are other search engines besides Google that other people use. So figured I'd share that. Okay, I have some new questions. Let's see here. So the Von Doom family channel. Do you think there is a good free SEO tool out there? How many times would you post per week if you're under financial distress? I have never used Pinterest, by the way. Should a wellness blogger be doing that? Oh man, so many good questions. Okay. Is there a good free SEO tool out there? Yes. The thing is about SEO is that there's a number of things that you can do with it. And the reason why I use so many different SEO tools is because they do different things. So RankIQ, obviously, that's one that's not free, but I use it for keyword research, and that's important for SEO. For SEMrush, I'm using it to fix the website errors, and that's important for SEO, right? Now, a free tool that I would recommend is Rank Math. It's comparable to Yoast if you're not using Yoast on your site. If you do use Yoast, if you download Rank Math as a plugin, it'll take all the information you have in Yoast and attach it to those articles. So you don't have to worry about losing any information from Yoast if you download Rank Math. But I've seen a huge increase in my organic traffic with Rank Math because what Rank Math does is it's indexing you not just on Google, but those other search engines. That's what like piqued my mind, like, oh, I wasn't ranking on Yandex before, and now I am since I signed up for Rank Math. So they do have a paid version, but you can get by on the free version just fine. What it does is it helps you with your on-page SEO. So it'll say, make these changes to your article so that you can rank for the keyword that you're trying to rank for. The hard part about Rank Math is it's not going to tell you what keyword to rank for. So you still need a tool to do keyword research. If you're under financial distress and you still need to do keyword research, I would recommend a tool that I was using at first because I didn't want to spend all this money on different SEO tools, but it still costs, but it's way, way more affordable. So the tool I would recommend is called, hold on, let me see what it's called because I don't remember now. One second. It's called, oh, here it is. Keywords Everywhere. Now, what's cool about Keywords Everywhere, like you do have to pay for it, but they give you credits. And the credits work like you do a search and that comes up, that's a credit is worth one search, or how many keywords you click on to learn more about that search. So I use Keywords Everywhere so I can determine what keywords I should rank for, because you can't just say, oh, I want to rank for this keyword, because you don't know how competitive it is. You don't know if people are searching for it. And you also don't know if it's, I don't know, if there's already content out there that's ranking for that keyword. So what you do with Keywords Everywhere is you have to find a keyword that gets a significant amount of traffic to it. You don't want a keyword that 0 people are searching for in a year. And then you want to make sure that it doesn't have too high of a competition score, so you know what keyword to focus on there. So that's what I would go with. Keywords Everywhere. You just buy a package and you just go through your credits. And that's probably the most affordable option for keywords. I've heard of people using free tools for keyword research, but I feel like if you want to be able to bring in some organic traffic, you got to spend something. And for Keywords Everywhere, I think you can get an annual subscription that's $72 a year, and it gives you 400,000 credits. So I think that's probably a good tool for keyword research. And then for SEMrush, Ahrefs, those both have free versions of it. So if you wanted to do a site scan to see what issues you have on your site, just sign up for a free version of SEMrush, do a site audit, and then you can just fix the issues that you see there. And once you fix all those issues, they'll just scan new pages and tell you what else needs to be fixed. I think you only get so many scans a month. So you do have to be mindful of that with the free version, but you can definitely get by on the free version of SEMrush and Ahrefs. You can do everything I'm talking about right now without spending any money on those tools. And then the other thing you can do that's free is just use webmaster tools. For a lot of stuff that SEMrush does, it takes data from Google Search Console and Yandex and all those other places. So you can grab a lot of that data from that tool already. So use that when it comes to fixing errors on your site, knowing what keywords you're ranking for, knowing how you change in regard to like keywords you're ranking for now that you didn't rank for before. And that's completely free. It's free to anyone who uses it. So Google Search Console, Microsoft Bing Search Console is another good one. The Yandex Search Console, those are all SEO tools and they're completely free. So yeah, that's what I would do for free tools. You say, how many times would you post per week if you were under financial? How many times would you post per week if you're under financial distress? It's not a matter of, I don't know what the financial distress has to do in regard to like posting per week. It's a matter of how much time do you have. If you are like looking for a job, for example, or if you're looking after kids, anything like that, you need time for that, right? So how much time do you have to dedicate to growing your blog? If your goal is to bring in income with your blog and quickly, I don't know if focusing on SEO is the way to go. SEO is how you get traffic to your site, which if you are on Mediavine or some other advertising channel that has a high RPM, then I can see why traffic would be your main motivator for bringing income for your blog. But I'm a fan, if your goal is to bring in money soon, you need to knock out the things on your blog so that you can make money with sponsored posts. Meaning you want to focus on things like, does your website have a contact us page so that if brands are interested in working with you, they can reach out to you pretty easily? Do you have a work with me page? Is there a page on your site that says, hey, I'm interested in doing sponsored partnerships? Here's some more information about my website. This is how you can work with me. Trying to think what else. Are you publishing content regularly? Being consistent with publishing content is way more important than publishing a lot of content at once, right? You don't want to go through a period where you're publishing an article every day for 6 months and then you don't publish anything because you're burnt out. It's way more important to be consistent. So if you can only publish one article a week or one article every 2 weeks, and you can do that consistently, that is so much more important than it is to publish more content. Now, that may seem like a contradiction because a minute ago, I just said the faster you want to grow, you have to publish more content. That is true. But if you can't sustain that, it looks bad. It doesn't look professional to, let's say, for example, you pitch a brand that we all know, and they go to your website like, okay, let me see what they're about. Okay, they have a beautiful website. They have some interesting topics. They have all the right pages. I think I would want to work with them. And then I see they haven't published a blog post in 6 months. Their whole business is content. So if they're not actively working on their blog, why would I work with them? They're not consistent with publishing content. How do I know they're actually going to do what they say they're going to do with the sponsored posts with me? So that's why consistency is so important when it comes to your blog. Or at least one of the reasons. There are other reasons why consistency is important, but from a financial perspective and trying to bring income quickly, I would say focus on sponsored posts. Do what you need to do for that, and then you can go back to the other stuff. Um, I have mentioned that I think that's the first way I've made money with my blog, when I wasn't getting a whole lot of traffic, when I didn't really know what I was doing. And I still think it's a good way to bring in income with your blog, even when you're not, um, uh, you don't feel like you have all the other things together. Even if you saw just a huge traffic drop from Google, you can still make money with sponsored posts. My course talks about that, in regard to making sure that you get the blogging basics down. That's what I call them, the blogging basics. And then it gives you the step-by-step on how do you pitch brands, how do you find them, how do you just do all these other things. I just saw a sponsored post today to do an Instagram reel, an IG reel, something short, right? For $3,500. $3,500 for one video. So I that's one of the things where I'm saying, like, sponsor post is a way to go. Now, what I don't like about sponsor posts is you get paid that money up front and then you don't have anything, and you have to work really hard to get each deal. But if your goal is to make money right now and you have the time to do those pitches and to apply to sponsor ops, do it. That's where the big money is. That's how you make money quickly too. So that's what I would recommend for that. I've never used Pinterest, by the way. Should a wellness blogger be doing that? Yes, Pinterest is your jam if you're a wellness blogger. I think a lot of lifestyle topics is perfect for Pinterest. So think health and wellness. Crafting is another good one. Recipe bloggers is another good one. I think anything that helps with parenting. Yeah, I think all those topics are great for Pinterest. Really, really good topic. And you should definitely be on there. Unfortunately, I don't think Pinterest works out for everyone. I think there's a space for for other bloggers. For example, travel, that's another really good one. Things that are visually appealing work well on Pinterest. And yeah, it's a good spot for you. If you're a wellness blogger, yes, that's your place. That's where you should be, for sure. A lot of really good questions in this one. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Link IQ and SEMrush are the best SEO tools. Sorry, I haven't been on my game. Those are the tools I use, and I say they're the best because I'm biased. And it's Rank IQ. So I'll give you my link so you can check it out. I think it's amazing, and what I love about Rank IQ is that it's affordable. Like, when you look at a tool like SEMrush, it's like ghastly. I'm cautious about recommending it to people because it's so expensive, and I know it's not realistic for most people to buy the tool. I benefit from it a lot, which is why I talk about it so often. But Rank IQ is affordable. I only spend like $30 a month on Rank IQ. There it is. That's my affiliate link for Rank IQ. So I love it because of that. And it was created by a blogger. He actually has a whole podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Blogging Millionaire podcast, but the guy who does that podcast, he created Rank IQ. And it's a really good podcast if you haven't listened to it. There's some really good information there. So yeah, SEMrush is great, but I think it's really bulky. There's a learning curve with like learning what all the different elements of it does. And I think for a lot of people, they feel like it's a waste because you're not going to use most of these tools the first month. You may not even use most of the tools in their platform the first year. But if you find some things that work well for you, SEMrush can be really beneficial in that regard. So yeah, like I said, I'm just biased because those are the tools I use. Webmaster School, that's I feel like I have a list for something. You know what? Let me just give you the link to this because it doesn't sound, I'm talking too fast. That's what happens when I get too excited and then I'm talking too fast and it looks like you can't understand what I'm saying. So here's one. This is called Google Search Console, and it is the webmaster tool for Google. You go there, you sign up for it for free. Okay, so there's the link for that one, for Google Search Console. And then I'll give you the one for Microsoft Bing. 1 second. Microsoft Bing. webmaster tool. Here you go. So you can sign up for this one as well. It's free again. And these are some good SEO tools to make sure that you're ranking on both of these platforms. They're different search engines, but they're excellent. So good ones to try. Let's see here. Melanie said, do you like key search? I use that. I've heard key search mentioned a lot. I've personally never used it. I think when I first heard about it, I looked it up and I thought it looked really cool. It seems like a pretty legit tool. I don't know what all it does, if I'm being honest. And when I looked at it, it seemed very similar to tools I was already using. So I never really got into key search. And I don't know if it's like a platform that's similar to SEMrush where it does a number of things. I'm on their website now looking at it. And it looks like it's very similar to RankIQ. I see a lot of similarities with RankIQ. There's definitely some elements here that are similar to SEMrush. I like that they have something for YouTube. That's pretty cool for you to be able to do that. But yeah, I personally not use it, so I don't have an opinion on key search. I've heard great things about it though. And yeah, that one, it looks pretty affordable too. That's nice. Pretty affordable. $24 a month or $240 a year. That's phenomenal. That's 2 months with SEMrush. And you got it for a year. So yeah, it sounds like a legit tool. What's the least amount of sessions we need to do the sponsored post from brands? I'm afraid I do not have enough sessions for that. So here's one of the myths about sponsored posts. I feel like a lot of people are hesitant about it because they're like, oh, they wouldn't be interested in me because I don't have enough traffic or whatever. My site's too small. They just won't be interested. My first sponsored post, I got paid a whopping $50. And believe me, this was a lot of money for me then because I was recently out of college. And I had made a total of 6 cents in Google AdSense, Google AdSense income. I didn't even make enough money on Google to cash out. Okay, that's how little traffic I was making on my website. And they wanted me to write an article and say it was sponsored by this company. And I couldn't believe it. Wow, why would they even be interested in it? They were interested in it because my blog was geared towards millennial women. I had a small following, and guess what they wanted for their target audience? Millennial women. So it worked out for everybody. At the end of the day, your traffic doesn't matter as much as your target audience. So it's important to know who your target audience is. And you can learn this too on your own, just going through your Google Analytics, looking through the demographic data, what are their ages? Is it more women than it is men, or men versus women? What are their interests? And you can learn this too from Google Analytics. You click on Pinterest and see in your analytics there to see what are the topics that your audience likes to indulge in. And Instagram is another one too. I think Instagram and Facebook data, they have really good information that you can use to put on your media kit and share that with your people that you're trying to work with. Because if they are trying to target the audience that you're going for, of course they want to work with you. And then I always tell this story too, because I've seen it on both sides. I've seen it from a blogger perspective, and I've seen it from the company perspective. Some years back, I started a business with my husband. We were doing private labeling, and that is when you pretty much hire a manufacturer in another country. We hired a manufacturer in China, and they built French presses for us. And the French presses were for coffee. So I decided, with all my marketing and my blogging, we started a whole website. We had blog posts. We had social media channels where we talked about coffee and what makes good coffee, why a French press is best for coffee. And I wanted to work with influencers to give them our free French press and to write about us. And of course, I targeted some bigger influencers, some that weren't as targeted. They weren't coffee bloggers specifically. They were more lifestyle bloggers, but I knew they had a big audience. And there's not a lot of coffee bloggers, you guys. I was specifically looking for coffee bloggers, and I had a list of maybe 10. And my smallest blogger, well, one of my smaller ones, she had a small audience. I'm talking 5,000 like 5,000 views a month, really small. But she was so honed in, like she was sending emails to her newsletter every week. All her traffic was like very relevant to coffee people. If you were not a coffee person, you were not on her blog. All her content she was creating was beautiful. She took these beautiful images. She just did a really good job. And when it came down to it, between all the bloggers that I hired to write blog content for me, her blog did the best. Her small blog brought in more traffic to my website than these massive bloggers I was looking at who weren't as geared in with the topic that I was looking for, because, they didn't have as many people that were interested in my topic. So all that to say, just because your blog is small doesn't mean that you are automatically disqualified. Actually, no. You could probably do better in some instances in some of these bigger blogs because you are the niche that brand is looking for. So, all that to say, don't be discouraged. Don't worry about your sessions. If you're afraid, like, oh, I don't want to put my sessions on here because I think they're going to think it's really low, it may not be as low as you think. I say still share that. And if you're worried about, oh, what if, they don't want to work with me because of my sessions, put more information on there that they want to know. Who is your audience? What is the demographic? What percentage of them are a certain age? What percentage are male versus female? What are the topics they're interested in? Include that stuff on your media kit and you'll be set. All right. So hopefully that's helpful. But I always get on my high horse about sponsored posts because I'm a big believer in them. They work, they still do. And there's just a lot of myths around them and people are hesitant to do it. But once you start doing it and that money comes in, you're like, I don't know why I ever hesitated. I don't know why I ever hesitated to do this. And I can tell you, like, even when my blog was smaller, I have gotten a lot of free, huge stuff. I've gotten free computers, free printers. I've gone on free trips. I've gotten mattresses. I mean, I went a full decade without buying a mattress, and I went through like 5 different mattresses in that same decade. There's so many opportunities with sponsored posts, and I think a lot of people are just afraid to take that first step. So, and I got paid too. I'm not saying that to say that I got a bunch of free shit in exchange for writing blog posts. I was getting free stuff and I was getting paid. So do it today. If you're trying to make money, sponsored posts are the way to go. Von Doom family says, thanks for all your answers and tips. Of course. Any tips for getting Bing traffic? My tip is make sure you're on the Bing webmaster tool. So make sure you're signed up there. Make sure that you have your sitemaps there and just do what they tell you to do. It's the same thing with Google. If they say, okay, we notice that you have these errors on your website that you need to fix, go fix them. If they're looking at your top 10 pieces of content, go through those top 10 pieces of content and figure out what you need to do to optimize them so that you can get even more keywords and even more traffic with those top 10 pieces of content. I'm going to guarantee you that those top 10 articles on Bing are going to vary from the top 10 articles on Google. So don't think just because you already optimized the 10 articles that Google said are your top 10 that you're done. You have to go to Bing next and do the same thing. So that's my tip for getting Bing traffic. Pay attention to them. Make sure you know that they're there. Know what keywords people are searching for to find you there, and just do the same thing you would do for Google to rank. So yeah. Oh, Learning said, yes, I only pay $11 a month because I used someone's code and got a discount for key search. Dang, $11 a month? Wow. That's pretty good. Speaking of that, I know a good platform. If you're ever looking for a good tool for your blog, you should be on AppSumo. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of that. I have an affiliate link I can share with you if you want to jump on there. I think I do. Let me just see if I do actually. AppSumo. Maybe not. But even if I don't, I'm going to use the link to it. Yeah, I don't. So AppSumo, it is an amazing tool. And I love to tell the story. It's one of those platforms where you just go in there. It's like a marketplace for tools. And there's a lot of like knockoff tools for tools you already use. Um, so, for example, the story I love to tell, there's this tool called MeetEdgar. And MeetEdgar is a social media sharing tool. And what MeetEdgar does is it's, you share on social media, but they keep your content. So you can keep using the social media posts you created over and over again. And I loved this tool. It was such a good tool to use, but it was super expensive. So I'm on AppSumo. I get their emails and they say they have new software deals, blah, blah, blah. And there was a tool on there that was exactly MeetEdgar. It was called SocialBee. So I signed up for SocialBee. I think I paid $50 for it. That's it. I paid $50 for it for a lifetime. That was what, 6 or 7 years ago. So I have the exact same tool that I was paying, I don't know, like $50 a month for or something. And I don't pay anything now. I have it for a lifetime and I never have to pay for it again. And that's what's great about AppSumo is that they always have lifetime deals there. So it's good to go on there, look through the tools. You probably more than likely never heard of any of these before, but there's a lot of tools that do exactly the same thing for tools you already use. You can get a super deep discount and possibly get some lifetime deals so you never have to pay for it again. So I just figured I'd share that. Thanks for giving me that reminder. That's great. You got a great deal on your key search tool, Lurleen. That's the way to go. Drop the link for the website to find sponsor posts again. Oh yeah, of course. Are you talking about my sponsor post price kit? My sponsor post price toolkit. Here it is. This is just my toolkit I use when that's good for pitching brands and figuring out how much you should be charging for brands. I have a number of tools. So what's included in the toolkit? I have a sponsor post pricing calculator. So you just put in your blog stats and they'll tell you how much you should be charging for an email, a sponsored email, a sponsored blog post, social media posts, and then like bundling some of those things, which you should be charging. So it has that. I have a brand proposal template. So when people say, all right, I'm going to work with you, how much is it going to cost? You put a nice professional brand proposal together. I also mentioned that you have to have a work with me page. So I give you a template so you know what to include on that page. I also have a tutorial video in there that shows you how much you should be charging brands. I also have a sponsor campaign rebuttal checklist. If people come back and say, oh, that's too expensive, and you tell them like, actually, this is why I'm charging what I'm charging. And I think that's it. I think that's everything that's in the toolkit, but it's only like $27. So it's just a nice little kit to have. The calculator alone is worth its weight in gold. It's helped me so many times because that was always the part that stressed me out, especially when you get into your own head and you're like, who am I to be charging this much money for a sponsor post? And then somebody actually pays you what you told them to charge. You told them what you charge. You're like, oh, maybe I didn't charge enough. So yeah, it's a great tool for that. So hope you guys enjoy. Thank you. I heard AppSumo has good discounts for deposit photos. Oh, probably. I think I've heard that before too. And it's periodic. The thing is, like, you always got to keep an eye on it. Like, they send out emails, so I just check the emails to see if anything seems like interesting. But yeah, they always have, it's lifetime deals, y'all. Like, I have a tool I still use and it's amazing. And like, yeah, I don't pay anything for it. And that's kind of my goal. I want to get to that level with all the tools. I'm usually just having like a lifetime membership for it because it's the way to go. Like, lower your costs with your blog and still keep all the tools you need. Win-win. Win-win-win. Let's see here. Yes, this is perfect. But also, what's the website to even find sponsored posts? Oh, okay. So I have a sponsored post list. That's something I give away for people who sign up for my email list. Hold on, let me find it for you. So I have a list of like 150 different brands or sponsored post networking sites. So there's two different ways to get sponsored posts. The first is pitching brands, right? So you go, you figure out what brand you want to pitch, you figure out the email address for the person who's in charge of sponsorships, and you send an email saying, like, here's my pitch. I want to work with you guys. And then the second way is to apply on sponsored post networks. And for sponsored post networks, yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. Hold on, let me get the list for you. The ultimate list of sponsored post networks. One second. What is, okay. I'm looking for it. It's usually pretty prominent on my blog. And now, oh, here we go. I'll tell you where to get it. One second. I should go prepare this stuff, you guys. Get your copy. There it is. Here's a list. So you sign up here and you will get my list of 150 networks and you create an account on them. So it's an extra benefit for this list. The first is you have to create an account, which is kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. You got to log in, create a password, put your profile on there. What's the name of your blog? Connect it to your social channels, all that stuff, so people can see what your how many followers you have and all that stuff. And that's how you get emails, and they say, here are the opportunities you can apply for them, right? That's the main purpose of doing this. But what I have found is I've gone through these networks and I've signed up and created an account on them. And for a lot of these, it's a backlink to your site. So my domain authority increased significantly once I started applying to these different channels. Like adding that profile, and you have to put your website link on it. That is a vote in your favor with Google. So some of them are follow, some of them are no follow, but it still helps in your favor. So yeah, go through that list. It's 150 different websites. You have to go through, create a password, and put a profile on there. But complete the profile because it's going to help your domain authority. And it's also going to increase the likelihood of you actually getting picked for these sponsored posts that you apply to. So I think that's what you're looking for. Yep, you said thank you for everything. Great. So I just went through a lot. How much time do we have? Oh my, this time just went by too fast. I didn't even talk about, what I came here to talk about in regard to what I'm working on for the year. All right, y'all. I'm going to get through this really quick. That's not to say that you guys can't ask me more questions. Feel free to post them in the chat. But I'm going to run through my list of things I do in Q4 so that I'm ready to make a ton of money in the end of the year. Okay? So first, let's talk about how you make money. You're going to make money because you're going to get more traffic to your website. So you're going to make it with your advertising. You're going to make more money because you're going to have affiliate links on your site, and people are clicking and buying stuff online so they can buy gifts for their family and they can buy Halloween costumes and all that stuff. So you're going to make money that way. And then the third way you're going to make money is how I've just been talking about sponsored posts. So you are going to be pitching brands saying like, hey, the holidays are coming up. I have all these posts that I'm going to be doing. Do you want to be a part of it and get some traffic on my website? Those are the three ways you're going to be making money this holiday season. So let's talk about the first way, traffic. People are shopping online more. That means that you want to make sure you're doing your keyword research to figure out what topics are people looking for. Now, something I think is really cool is Pinterest. They have done a lot in regard to setting up their trends website. So I think I talked about this last time, but there's a page on Pinterest called Trends. And they put a lot of effort and time into this page, and for good reason. They're pretty much doing like some pretty in-depth analysis every month to see what people are searching for and what's coming up in the pipeline. They're going off of not just data from what they're seeing people are starting to search for, but also what's some seasonal things they typically see happening. And this is a really good place to go, in my opinion, if you want to know what content you should be searching for. So, for example, one thing that I know that is really picking up right now is gifts. I think October is one of the highest birthday months. Like everyone knows an October birthday person because it's a popular birthday month. So people are buying gifts for their friends, for their birthdays, for their family. People are buying Halloween costumes, and some people are already thinking about Christmas. Like they're trying to get their Christmas shopping done and out of the way so that they're ready to go. If you have not done gift guides on your website, I would highly recommend you consider doing it. And here's why. It doesn't matter what your topic is, your audience is going to be buying stuff in this last quarter. They will be buying birthday gifts, they will be buying Christmas gifts, they're going to be buying Halloween costumes. And so long as you're keeping it relevant to whatever your topic of choice is, I think it's still worthwhile for you to do a gift guide. So, for example, if you are a travel blogger, you can talk about here are some gifts that people who like traveling would enjoy. Or if you are a food blogger, here are some gifts for someone who likes cooking. So just think of it like that in regard to, is this relevant to my topic? How can I actually talk about this? Everyone is spending money. So it's a good opportunity for you to make some of it. Now, something that I used to do, I don't do it as much anymore because I just don't have as much time, is I would do an annual gift guide on my website. What I would do is I would start pitching brands around this time, actually in September, October-ish. I would start pitching brands and saying, hey, I do an annual gift guide. Do you want to be a part of it? And I would charge a significantly smaller amount for them to be in this than I would for a sponsored post. For example, at the time I was charging like $1,500 a month for a sponsored post. But the benefit of them being in my gift guide is that it's only like $100. Now, they're not the only person who's in the gift guide. They're sharing that article with other people, but they are still featured in a sponsored post, and it's a fraction of what they would pay to do a sponsored post with me on their own. So I'd be like, it's $100 and you have to send me something for free. So I can take a picture of it and make sure that it's prominently featured in the article. And any year I would get anywhere from, I don't know, 5 to 15 people who decide to participate in my sponsored posts in my gift guide for the year. And I used to do one big post, but as I got better at this, I think what made sense is to do more in categories. So depending on what I got, I would do like a tech gift guide. I do a travel gift guide. I do like gift guide for crafters, just depending on what type of how many people and what type of brands decided to work with me for that. So that is one thing you can do right now. And to make it even easier, this is what really just set it off for me, because like it was so easy once I learned that you can do this. There's a website called cj.com or Commission Junction. And what is excellent about this website, for those of you who've never heard of it, it is an affiliate network. So an affiliate network is pretty much a place where you go and you say, I want to find brands who, I put links on my website to talk about I put their links on my website. And if anyone clicks on the link on my website and buys something, I get paid. So that's what it is. So cj.com hosts a number of brands on there. So I can go on there and search through the different advertisers and say, oh, I want to work with you. I fill out a little form and they say, okay, we'll review your application, and then they accept you or they reject you, whichever. And what's great about them is if you are on their website, they have a whole platform where you can do sponsored posts. So what I would do every year is I would get in CJ, I write my little proposal like, hey, I'm looking for any advertisers who want to do a gift guide with me for the holidays. It's $100 to be a part of it. Check it out. So I would create that. And now all the advertisers who are looking for sponsored deals for the holidays, they see me there. The other thing I would do that's great about commissionjunction.com is they give you the email addresses for all the affiliate managers. This is part of the struggle when it comes to pitching brands because you don't know who you're talking to. What's great about Commission Junction is that they give you, here's the name of the person who is responsible for affiliates for, let's say, KitchenAid, for example. Here's their email address if you want to contact them. And yeah, it's just super easy. They make it so easy for you to do it. And something else that I do is I reach directly out to Commission Junction and I say, hey, I'm looking for brands to be in my gift guide. If you know anyone who's looking for a blogger who wants to be in a gift guide, let me know. And they will reach out to me like, oh, we actually know this many people who want to be in a gift guide. So we'll let them know and connect you. They've done that so many times to the point where by the time I was doing this in year 3, I didn't have to pitch brands. Commission Junction would just come straight to me and tell me like, hey, these people are interested in doing your gift card. Are you still doing it this year? So that's just one of my strategies. It works well because they have to pay me up front. So it's a sponsored post. They are an affiliate. So I put their affiliate link in my article. So if anyone clicks through and buys, I'm getting paid again passively. And because a bunch of people are searching around for gift guides and stuff like that, and I share it on Pinterest, I'm seeing an uptick in traffic on my website that month because that's what people are searching for. They want to search for gifts and buy gifts for people and buy different things. So yeah, that's what I do end of year so that I make sure that I'm making enough money to pay for all my Christmas gifts. And just getting my fair share. So I'm making it through sponsored posts, I'm making it through affiliate sales, and I'm making it through the additional traffic I'm getting on my site. So I'm making more money with advertising. So hopefully that's helpful. I love to talk about that and make sure that I'm doing it for the end of the year. It's a lot of work and I'm exhausted by the end of it, but I've also made thousands of dollars and a given month with just affiliates or just with sponsored posts because of this strategy has worked really well for me. And then of course, the last piece I'm going to just share with this because I'll do the gift guide or whatever. And it's nice because it's kind of like a taste for some of these brands. They can see how much traffic I can drive to their website. And of course, I make sure that I drive traffic to their website. To that blog post. Because if I don't see a bunch of traffic coming to it, I'm sharing it on Pinterest. I'm sharing it in Tailwind communities. I am sharing it all over my social channels multiple times. And if all that stuff doesn't work, I just take out an ad. I'll take one of those $100 that someone gave me and I put it behind like Facebook ads or Pinterest ads or whatever to make sure that I'm getting enough traffic to that content. Because in January, I'm going to go back to those brands and say, hey, how did everything work out for you? Do you want to do like an actual sponsored post? Because if you can, it's only $1,500. And I'm pretty sure I already made you that much money with the affiliate sales last month. So let's do it. And I still have a brand that I've been working with for the last 5 years because I started that way. I started with them being on my gift guide. They like me. And now they just reach out to me every January like, hey, we're ready again. Can we do another sponsored post with you? They already have multiple sponsored posts on my blog. I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this to tell you like this is what's possible with sponsored posts and affiliates when you're just thinking creatively about bringing in income with your blog. So it's a great time to make connections with different advertisers. I mentioned CJ.com. It's free, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before. It's a free network. You can go sign up for it. You just got to tell them about your website. I think if you don't bring in any affiliate income, after a certain number of months, they will kick you off the platform, but you can always go back and apply. I've been kicked off multiple times. And I'm still on this channel because I just go and apply again. I'm like, okay, let's start me over. Give me the countdown and I'll make sure to focus on bringing some income in this month. Oh, okay, that was a lot for the last 10 minutes. Hopefully it was helpful. But I like to share this information with you guys because I think it works well for me and I hope it works well for you guys. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me this month. We'll do it again next month. I do these the last Wednesday of every month. We'll do that for October next month. And please bring your questions. I loved all the questions that I got today. I love to answer them. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next month. Thank you. Bye.